Hey, how y'all doing? I know I probably look like crap. Don't judge me. I just woke up and I had this dream I gotta tell you guys about. This dream, normally dream I don't remember like that, but I remember this dream like it just happened, okay? So I don't know if it's just a dream. Like some people say it's just a dream, but I know dreams are not just dreams sometimes. Sometimes they got a meaning behind it. I don't know if it's a prophetic dream or what, but in my dream, I'm sitting there in the house chilling with my wife and my daughter. The phone rings, and it was my son calling my wife and telling him that he sounded like he was in distress. We heard a lot of big booms in the background. Every time we heard a big boom in the background of the phone, we heard it where we was at too. But Cameron said he was in trouble. He needed help. He was stranded. Can we come get him? And of course, my son, we won't come and get him. So when we asked him, where you at? He said he didn't know where he was at. But he sent his location from his phone. I'm all right. We're on our way. So I'm driving from our place, and I don't know where we was coming from, but I know with a whole bunch of trees on this wavy, like, windy road we was going down with trees everywhere on both sides of it, like we was in the woods or something. Also in the area, we also almost like we was not just in the woods, we was like coming down or going through some mountains or something. I don't know where we was at, but we were driving for a while, and the wife kept saying, "Man, I hope our daughter's okay." Now I don't know why we left our daughter there, but somehow reason in my dream, I remember me saying that, "Babe, she's okay. She's okay. She's in the best spot. Nothing's happening there." Almost like we know stuff was happening other places, but we didn't know what's happening there. So I'm driving, feel like for hours, at least a few hours. And the whole time my wife was just talking, and I'm looking around. I seen these plain areas, these flat ground plain areas on both sides, stuff I never really seen before. Then I started seeing like a desert type deal, like I've never seen none of that before, like all that. Even though the windy road we first came through in the mountains, I never seen that in real life. I don't know where that was going on. So anyway, I'm driving, and I said, "Babe, we're almost there." And in the distance, you see this huge town or city with big buildings, okay, really big buildings, like it was a downtown somewhere. So we pull up to the edge of the city where it started, and pulled in a little bit into the city, and parked right in front of this building. And some reason we jumped out the car. I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we not continue driving? And I'm guessing that we were close to where his location was. So we got on foot and started walking, looking around. So we're walking, got to the edge of this one building, and I heard, "Mom!" And I looked over, and it was my son Cameron. And he had his head sticking out of a car. Now, let me tell you this, all the way there, okay, we kept hearing these big booms. I was even joking with my wife, one of the big boom, I think there were earthquakes. I said, now that one right there split the whole world. And my wife and Marco, stop playing, don't play like that. So I was with my son, with my wife said, "Hey, Cameron, we're over here, come on." And he was in some car. And he jumped out of the car, heard another big boom, and stuff was falling from the building. He was ducking down like, oh my gosh, running over towards us. And the first thing, weird, so you would think you would say, I was like, "Hey, are you okay, son?" No, I was like, "Who car was you in?" He was like, "I don't know, I just jumped in there because things was falling. It was the safest spot." So I'm like, all right, and I seemed like I didn't care about it. All right, let's go get out of here. And we heard another big boom in the street where we was at, and we had to run off of it onto the sidewalk because the street just split in half. And I'm like, oh my God, we gotta get out of here. And my wife said, no, my mom's here. We might as well go and get my mom. I'm like, your mom's here? And I don't know where here is, okay? I don't know where here is. I know it was in a city, and the streets was going like this. like really big hills type of streets. But in the distance, on the top of the hill, the street, I seen straight down over the little hills and the humps are going like this, and I seen the ocean. So I couldn't tell you where we were at all. I just know it was big buildings everywhere. People was running and everywhere, and the street split and the road went like this. Anyway, we said, let's get back to the car. So all three of us are running through the car, and literally every 30 minutes, a big boom, and I figured it was an earthquake, was happening every 30 minutes. It didn't stop. I don't know how that even, or how earthquake really is, or been through none of them, but every 30 minutes was a big earthquake to the point it felt like the whole world shook under our feet. Building was crackling and breaking. Car alarm was going off. Like everything. Window was shattering. But anyway, we made it back to our car, and our car seemed to be fine. Jumped in our car, and somehow we turned down some other street and started going down the street in this city. And I tell you, every 30 minutes, boom, so our car is shaking. And so we finally started driving, and we finally got to this part, when we went through the city, there was a bridge. And you seen there was like water, I'm guessing the ocean over there, and the ocean over there, and the ocean right under it. But as we pulled up towards the edge of the bridge, another big boom happened. And the bridge, like it didn't split in half, like on the other end where the bridge connected to the other part of the city, just push right into the water. But it was like it went not just into the water, like it went through the ground too. Because we parked our car right there. And my wife was saying, Marco, come on. I'm like, come on? What are you going out the car for? And she jumps out the car, so I jump out the car. It's my wife. You know, I ain't going to leave her there. But I'm in my head, I'm wondering, like, why are we out the car? Why don't we just get back and go back the other way? So she's slowly climbing down this bridge. And Marco, come on. I'm like, what are you doing? So, oh my gosh. So I'm climbing down this bridge, which I didn't want to climb down this bridge. But my wife is climbing down there. I'm not going to let her go by herself. So she's climbing down this bridge. And we get closer down there to the bottom of it where the water was. Okay, there was cars and people on this bridge, but I didn't see them anymore as we were going down this bridge. I guess after it failed, they all went into the water. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But we got into the bottom of the bridge, and there was water there, but it was like it went through the ground, like we was. So we got into the water and walked on this another little platform, which I can't explain what it is. I don't know where we was at. I feel like we was underground. I feel like we was in a cave, or I don't know where we was at. And we're walking, and I heard a lot of screaming from the people who sound like they were in distress, and from people sound like they were like, yeah! Like, I don't know what was going on. My brain was lost. Like, why I'm hearing two different type of signals. I don't know if they having fun or not. So we're walking down this platform, and all of a sudden we heard another big boom, another earthquake. And this platform that we were walking on collapsed into the water where we was under, or where we was at. We was on ground, high ground in this area we was at, over the water. Then we went into the water. Then I heard my wife said, there's my mom. And she was like, Savannah. So my wife, not even thinking, just right into the water. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Why is she jumping in the water? And she's swimming on, I guess because her mother, I can see that, So she's swimming over to her mother, and I'm slowly getting into the water. I get in there, and it was like waist high. And I took maybe a couple steps, it was like chest high. I took maybe a couple more steps, and it was up to my neck. And I was like, all right, I have to swim from here. So I'm swimming. Right? For some reason, I never went over there to tour my wife and her mom. Like, I couldn't hear their conversation. Only thing I heard was her mom saying, why are you swimming, Savannah? And she said, there's no ground over there. So I knew where Savannah went, where she went at, there was no ground. But I stayed about at least 10 to 20 feet away from the area. And some reason, I don't know why, I never went over there. But I kept swimming back and forth in this area, just keeping my eye on my wife and my mother-in-law. Just swimming back and forth, back and forth. Just don't know. I'm swimming back and forth. I'm looking around. I see there's some people swimming too, but all of them was swimming to get out to the platform. But a lot of people, they were just stuck there. They wasn't moving. Like her mom, she wasn't moving. She was sitting there, like the water was like waist high, like maybe chest high up to her, like about this high. But she wasn't moving. She was just sitting there. And my wife and her was talking about. My wife was sitting there, like floating, talking to her. About 5 minutes. Okay, so after this, I'm swimming back and forth. I decided I'm tired of swimming, and then the water went in my mouth. I was already getting choked a little bit. I started to walk back close to the part where we was walking at. And when I got to that same spot where I was walking at, the water wasn't down at my waist anymore. The water was up here towards my neck, like the water was rising. Oh my gosh. But then when I noticed that, I looked back over to my wife, and she was swimming back towards me. And so I'm slowly walking backwards, going up this little platform. So I'm out of the water. My wife swam over to me, and I'm grabbing her hand and helping her up. I'm like, "Where's your mom? Your mom coming?" And she was like, "No." I said, "Well, where's your sister and everybody at?" And she got really teary-eyed. I said, "Baby, I don't know." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, come on, baby." And now I'm pulling her out of the water. And we're walking back up this platform. I said, "Well, let's get back to Cameron. Let's get back to our daughter, because this happened to here really bad now." And then boom. I'm looking around like, oh my gosh, this is getting intensifying. Like, the earthquake wouldn't stop. It kept going, wouldn't stop. And I said, well, let's get back to our kids. Get back to Cameron because I don't know what's going on. I just know that we need to get back to Mariah, make sure she's okay. We get intensifying here. I know it's eventually going to get to where she's at. I don't know why we didn't take her either, which is kind of weird. But I'm guessing we believe it was safe, the safest spot. So we're walking up, kind of like the bridge went up like this, how when it fell. So we're walking up that bridge. Not standing, because we couldn't stand. We had to like crawl our way up, like a bear crawl in a way. So we finally got up to the top. I see my son sitting in the car with a hand out the window like this, holding his phone. I'm like, "Karen, what are you doing?" He was like, "I'm trying to find a signal. There's no signal anymore." No signal. So I'm reaching in my pocket, not thinking. I jumped in some water, pull out my phone, it's soaking wet, but I still see my screen. And I look at the top, there was no signal. Like, there's no bars, no signal, no nothing. Like, nothing was there. I'm like, what is going on? My wife said, well, it was just my phone. So we both ran, jumped in the car, because that's where her phone was at. She was smart enough to left her phone there. She pulled her phone up and looked at it. No signal. Nothing. Don't know what's going on. Cameron said, "That is hot. It's really hot." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know it is really hot." Like, to the point that we just climbed out of this water we were swimming in. By the time I got to the car, my shirt was completely dry. My pants were, and my pockets wasn't, because I guess I had water in my pocket or something, but my shirt was completely dry. And all of a sudden, I'm looking over to the left and looking to the right. There was people on the side and people out in like this plain grass area, and they all were just collapsing, falling to the ground, collapsing. And it was so hot. How you see the little waves, little spots, whatever. That's how hot it was outside, and it was everywhere. And I'm thinking people was fainting, or because of the heat hitting them, getting I don't know, dehydrated. I don't know. They all was collapsing and falling. To the point I started the car up, I'm starting to drive, but it sounded funny, like our tires sound like sticky every time it go. And I look out as I was driving, and it looked like our tires was so hot, our tire was melting on the street. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? We gotta get back to our daughter. So we were driving for a while, about another 5 minutes or so, then all of a sudden I stopped hearing that noise. Looked back out there, and looked like our tire wasn't melting anymore. We was back on okay ground. And we're just driving and talking about her mom and about they're not coming and don't know where her sister, nobody is. We never really talked much more about what happened to them, why her mom didn't come, like her mom couldn't move. Maybe her mom was stuck. and I just didn't know. I don't know. And I just know it was in a car. We was driving back, and I tell you, every 30 minutes to 20 minutes, boom, our whole car was shaking. Like, the earthquake was bad, and the building was falling and breaking. I didn't hear much screams, though. Like, maybe because it was, I don't know, hopefully people was okay and got out of there on the street, but maybe they didn't. Only scream I heard was down in the water area where the bridge collapsed. And we got it back out of this area to the edge of the city, and like driving back home, and I woke up. So I don't know what that is or what that dream was about, but I can tell you that dreams, you don't just have dreams. Sometimes your dreams have a meaning to it, but most of the time you got to figure out what is that meaning to your dream. Most dreams you can't even remember, excuse me, but this dream I remember. Like, I still remember, like, detail. I couldn't tell you all the other people that's in there. A lot of other people was in that dream, and I couldn't tell you who they were. Just random people. And I can't say any dream was prophetic to us. Because a lot of times in dreams, it's not even about you half the time. It could be about somebody else or somebody you don't even know. But I had to tell you guys about this dream because I don't know exactly what this means. If you maybe got an idea what the dream could be about, go in the comment section and tell me, because don't say, oh, because you're high or something like that, dude. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do no type of drugs. I have got closer to God lately, and He's been showing me a lot of different little visions lately. And I just don't know what this means. So if you think you got an idea what it means, go in the comment section and let me know. Till next time, stay blessed, spread love, and walk with God.